G'day folks, Tony again here for more of the many lives of John Rando. And exploring we will go, folks. Certainly a lot left here to explore in this randomly generated place that has literally hundreds of underground levels, as well as a substantial amount of above ground content. We know that there are some stairs downwards through the door just there. There also appears to be some sort of I think it was a void spider or something up this way. Those salamanders still neutral, but the way blocked here by a jilted lover, that is a fairly solvable problem with our pistol. Is that going to make the salamanders hostile? It is not. So we don't want to fall down the deep shaft that's just to the left of us here. That would be a bad time. Let's take the lock off there. Because, yeah, falling down those things, not the best. Also, no way through there. So, alas, not an easy path to those downward stairs just yet. I think we're going to keep sort of delving downwards and see where things go and where they end up. Because for the most part, we were asked to come here as the result of a random quest. There is a turret, another turret. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm hoping that there's going to be some nifty stuff just sort of lying around. Now, seeing as we have discharge there at our disposal, I might just close that door again and we'll try moving into it all and opening it all in the one move. Now it's going to start chirping and we can do what we did last time, which is to use discharge, and it does indeed work, and we have hit level 6. Again, the slight moment of alarm at a sudden pop-up after you do something hazardous. We gain 1 to each attribute at level 6, which is real nice. So let's have a look and see all the things that did. So our toughness modifier has changed a little bit, so we're going to have a few more hit points at our disposal now. We've also got ego at 18, which gives us a +1. And you can see that force bubble is now up at level 2 as a result of that ego boost. So that is quite handy. Another 2 attribute points before we have eliminated the negative modifier on toughness, though. Maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't. Who knows? But we also have a bucket load of skill points that we can use. So let's have a look and see what we're going to be able to do now. We have the Borderlands revolver, which is certainly making me think that some of these bow and rifle things would be kind of handy. But let's just have a quick look and see what some of the other things are. Bloodletter is a nice thing to have too. Kind of done it before. No other options in tactics. We have all the tinker. I haven't done any tinkering yet, but maybe that's a thing we could do later. We could get ourselves a bunch of different things for travel. Doubles chance of interesting encounters. Oh, it is nice to have interesting encounters, isn't it? But how much are those each? So they're 50, 25 in the flower fields, but we need to drop 100 on them just to get access to any of them at all. So maybe we can put that on the back burner for now. Water ritual, 25 bonus rep. We're not doing a ton of that right now. Trash divining. These are cool things, but I also like not being dead. First aid, what does that give us? Instantly cure a bleeding effect. So that means that our bandages will guarantee that they'll be fine. Our pistol, here's what I was looking for before, because we have bow and rifle, but I couldn't remember if pistol was separate, and indeed it is. So if we get pistol, agility is treated as if it was 4 points higher. That would be handy. Akimbo, we can wield 2 pistols. That would also be groovy. And critical hits with pistols twice as often. But then we get up into 21 and beyond agility. Curious, what is our agility again? At the moment it's 20, so it's not inconceivable that we'll get to that point. So, you know, why not? It's something different. We have a pistol already, so let's grab steady hand with pistols. Yes, please. So that's that one done. It means we have 170 left. And scoring critical hits with pistols twice as often. I mean, twice as often is nice, but I don't know what the raw probability of that is. That would be a cool thing to have. But some of this wayfaring stuff here would also be a cool thing to have. And traveling on the overland map twice as quickly does seem pretty groovy. So why not? Let's grab that one. And because we've sort of got it here and because we're exploring the marshes a fair bit and because I don't usually grab them and it's nice to try something different, let's go with wilderness lore marshes. So a little bit of an all-around set of things there. We've reloaded our pistol and we have a friendly bear coming in to give us a nice little hug. I'm sure they don't mean anything bad. Let's try and set them on fire with our burning hands. So it is now a flaming bear, and that's good. And we can pop our force bubble, which is going to push it backwards, and then we can shoot it a few times, maybe more than a few times, and that's that problem solved. 150 experience points, delicious. How many lead slugs? We've still got about 30 of them left, including the ones in the pistol, so we don't want them to get completely used up. Some kudzu in there. I don't think we really need to, I don't think we really need to worry about them. What else do we have over here? Something lying on the floor. A leather cap. Beautiful. Let's take that. Do we have anything on our head? We already have a leather cap. We can sell that other thing later. And a beaded bracelet, which should get us a little bit of cash. So maybe just a lonely bear in the room all by itself. There's no other turrets hiding in the corners here, or none that we've found yet at least. Very good. Okay, where else do we have to go? Oh, up here still. Hopefully we're going to get through to these stairs fairly soon. There is another way there that we've already been past. I had totally forgotten about that because it's been a couple of days since I played. And I didn't have the map fresh in my head. So I guess the scary question mark monster that's just sort of sitting there is something that we're going to have to deal with sooner or later. Oh, that's right. There was a hermit up here with this diplomacy droid, and that doesn't appear to have resolved itself in a way that was good for the hermit. But that got us 5 experience points. It's not a terrible amount, a terribly good amount. Oh, the hermit's okay. Oh no, what are you doing? You fool. Scrap-clad hermit, what are you about? So there's Gershlings in there, and that's fine. I can't close the door now because they've gone and gotten in the way. So we might be about to get stuck here in a bad way. But fortune favours the bold, and we are here to explore and discover new things, so let's press onwards. We can open that door diagonally. Perhaps we can scoot through into an empty room without getting stuck in the web. Let's just duck back over here and see how these things are going. There's clearly something still afoot. I'm not seeing a hermit in the doorway, but I am seeing a Gershling, so let's keep moving so that we can get through and out into an area where we can escape from should we need to. And if we pull ourselves down here, then that should give us enough time for the Gershling to move in, which it does. And now we can zap it with some zappiness. That's certainly taken the wind out of its sails, but we'll do a Flaming Hands as well, just to be on the safe side. And then hopefully a few hits, and that will take care of that. And it did. 90 experience points gained. Let's just check and make sure that thing is what I think it is. It is a bloody Voider. So Voider's not the best. This 3-span rust-hued arachnid is so named for its instinctual ability to displace those who threaten it by folding space in the local area, so they can teleport your way if you're causing them drama. Let's just close that door for a moment so we can try healing up. I don't think it's going to come after us. So after that hermit foolishly did whatever they were doing, we might just continue our cautious exploration. This is possibly honey in this pot, an engraved vase. So there's nothing in it, but it's certainly worth us looking at. It's going to tell us something about Oraduct, but it's not going to give us a quest. What did we learn about Oraduct? At the Battle of Shetham Steeple, Oraduct fought as a mercenary sultan to subjugate worms. She wielded a philosophical dagger with such artistry that it became forever known as Philosophicalica Worm's Ruin. Of course. Of course. So more little spaces to look in. There's a tortoise here. I'm assuming it's going to be cranky with us, and indeed that is the case. It's also probably going to be a little bit slow, so let's try pistoling it as we back away. Still fails to penetrate the armor, so perhaps wasting some bullets there. But you know what? We've got plenty of this zappiness left, and we've also got some flaming hands to flame things with. So they've done a carapace there, where they're tightening carapace, as we can see down there in the log. Oh, it just takes forever to hit these things sometimes. There we go. Another 125 XP. I will take it gladly. And let's see what the tortoise was guarding. It's a nothing. I should have known. Another Gershling. How curious. So we have our zaps back again. Let's wait for it to move in range foolishly. And we'll give it a good what for. We've got a good double whammy here that we tend to be doing fairly often, of zapping things with electricity and then burning them. So that's fun. There's another 90 experience points for us. Those webs have burnt themselves out, and it looks like a cave spider hiding here in the corner. And it is presumably injured by us burning things, so that should also be, well, look out, relatively straightforward. That hit us more times than I expected. But we're okay, folks, we're okay. So is this a large room with more voiders in it? It is not, it is a small room. The voider is still in the other room. And I don't know if there's anything in... No, there's nothing there. What about... I think we need to do a get from an adjacent square on tables. I seem to recall there was some weirdness with bookshelves and what have you. No, it doesn't look like there's it. Whoops. There's anything here. There is nothing in it. All right. And that one, there's also nothing in it. Right. Good. Thanks for bearing with me through that. Should we try and take on the voider? Not yet, because let's go and explore and see what some of these other rooms contain, because if there's bad things in them, then I would much rather we've already cleared them out and killed them, rather than potentially getting teleported into a bad spot. Is it still on fire? I don't think it is. Yes, rather than getting teleported into a bad spot and then having, funnily enough, once again, electrofuges not being electrified. Yes, being teleported into a bad spot and having a horrible time getting trapped in a corner somewhere. There is a Scorpioc. Hey, Scorpioc. And member of the kinfolk of the Pummelborn, it's nice to see you. So we've got that discharge back. We should be able to zap it effectively. Whoa! We've been poisoned. And that's bad because we have also been just absolutely king hit in a horrible, horrible way here. And I don't know that we have any way of unpoisoning ourselves. I think we might be in a world of trouble. We're going to sprint away. We're still taking damage from poison. I don't think I have any salve injectors to do anything with. The blaze injector is going to make us immune to heat damage and we can't be frozen, but that does absolutely nothing to help us with our current poison dramas. Eating's not going to heal because that's not how it works. Bandages aren't going to do anything because we're not bleeding. I wonder if we can eat some honey. Or drink some honey, rather. We're sated. So that's nice, but I don't think it's going to stop us from being further poisoned. So we're down to 1 hit point. And I think that poison is going to persist in our system for some time. Let's have a look at these active effects. Poisoned. Don't regenerate hit points. We're doing about 3 damage per turn. Healing effects are only half as effective and we can't heal. We'll become ill once the poison runs its course. I don't think we're going to have to worry about getting ill, folks, because I think we're done for. Just check that there isn't some kind of anything here that we can do to make ourselves feel better. There is not. So I think we're about to perish here. Let's run bravely towards the stairs. And there we have it. We died, killed by a Scorpioc and member of the kinfolk of the Pummelborn. Rest in peace, John Rando. Let's try again with the Daily Seed for day 296 of 2018. What have we got here? More flaming hands, triple jointed hemophilia. Uh-oh. Not sure if this John Rando is going to last very long with very bad bleeding. Confusion, psychometry, as a pilgrim, the world seeding character build right there for you to play along at home. Let's once again reincarnate and see where we begin. That's taking an awfully long time. We embark for the Caves of Kud. On the 25th of Tishru Eaux, you arrive at the village of Darlip. Good times. I see a salt hopper. I'm hoping that it is a friendly one, and it is, thankfully. Kektigana Dasolabella, legendary salt hopper. Possibly somebody we can speak to. Let's go and find out. Hey, how's things? Sharp clicking. Live and drink. Do you have some work for me? Oh, we're going to get a quest from a salt hopper. Nomad, my folk would spend our days burrowing into the earth, but after becoming acquainted with the purity of Kektigana Dasolabella, legendary salt hopper, we changed our manner and consecrated new rituals. To our great agony, Ial lost our that thing, replacement valve. Would you seek it out and return it to us? We hear it's been taken to Turkamish. We will reward your assistance. I would love to do that and accept a reward of recoiler and disc. Thanks. Good times. Anything else that we can discuss with you? Can you trade with me? There is nothing to trade. Of course there isn't. Are the Snapjaws also okay? Good. I mean, I can't see any reason why they wouldn't be. Desecrated marble statue of a 2-headed slug snout. Okay. And is this also one down here? It is another desecrated statue. That's a bit weird. We have somebody down here to speak with. Is there work around here? Speak to Siagua. I would love to speak to Siagua. I shall go and search them out forthwith. I think I saw a microscope up here. Bizarre contraption. Let's tell me more about this bizarre contraption. A puzzling artifact. This object is a monument to a scene from the history of the village Darlip. The vulgarity of swine was revealed to the people of Darlip through those who would abuse Kektigana Dasolabella, legendary salt hopper. Clearly that salt hopper is important in this part of the world. We got some more village history, so that's good. And Ial, Dromad Merchant, mentioned before. We're going to eat that stuff. It's going to give us some buffs. We're going to talk to the Zealot, so we get the Oh Glorious Shekinah quest. Where is this other person who we have to speak to? There's a warden there. Let's go and have a chat with the warden, because it's possible that we can do a water ritual. Indeed we can. So that's going to give us 100 rep, and that should give us enough maybe to get some secrets. So we can share that secret with them. but I don't think there's much else we can do. That's unfortunate. Looking for work. So they want us to talk to Siagua again. Do you have anything to trade? Of course you don't. You're a Scorpioc. Not fond of them for some reason that I can't quite recall. In the far-flung past of a previous life a few minutes ago, Scorpiocs didn't go so well. Nashrush was the wary. Can I also speak with you, good sir? Indeed. Welcome to the village of Darlap, Wanderer. Here you will find shade and victual, along with other provisions to help you better scour the rust caves for treasure. Per our custom, you may drink of our fresh water and quench your thirst. I would love to do the water ritual with you. Sure. More things, other villagers not so fond of us. I would like a secret, thank you very much. Dumur, so a ruin. What else have we got? Kimmer Spot, a second ruin. And that's all of the things that they can teach us. We can learn to cook broth on top of cider rubbed broth and vine wafer broth. It sounds ridiculously complicated, but I'll happily learn to cook it if it means that we can do some more things. All right, they want us to speak with the same person. There are things to trade, but we don't really have much to offer. And they don't have much that we can afford. Speaking of which, we haven't really looked at anything here. We're wearing sandals that aren't doing anything for us. We've got ghostly flames on our hands and a cloth robe, which means that our armor is going to be terrible. It is 1, and our dodge value is 7, which is slightly less terrible. Anything in this orchard? Just a big old orchard, presumably a farmer of some description. Yep. And they have much cider and star apples for us, and we really don't need that right now. So where is this mysterious other person for us to speak to? We have yet to find them. There are a number of buildings that we haven't explored, though, so I'm hopeful that somewhere around here there's going to be somebody. Can we close that door? How long would you like to sleep? I don't want to sleep at all. That is not what I expected, but okay. I guess that's an inn where we can rest our weary head, if indeed John Rando has a head in the traditional sense. I can't find this person we're supposed to talk to. Holding down the Alt button, looking for green things to click on. Maybe it's one of these snapjaws, but none of them look different. They're all scavengers. That's odd. Is it actually something that looks inanimate that happens to be an NPC? That can happen sometimes. Or is there somewhere that we haven't found yet? Little hidey hole over here. Hello, who are you? You're the person I'm looking for. Siagua, this brawny mustachioed man, wears a white apron stained with the juice of star apples. His sable hair mats against the brown skin of his forehead. From his left forearm hangs a wet rag, with which he scrubs the dirt from his hands every few moments. Nice to meet you. Do you have any work? Live and drink, friend. Roaming pretenders came to our village the other day. While breaking bread, they spoke of an interesting place, a snapjaw fort, but they wouldn't reveal the location. Will you find it for us? It would be a great favour to the prayer prospects of our village. We will reward your service. We hear you can find it by following the river that passes through the Emir Hearth East. Yeah, I like the sound of that. A random quest reward to a snapjaw fort can absolutely take care of that for you. What do you have to hand to me? Not an awful lot. So let's go and find the Dromad vendor. Oops. And see if we can trade some things. I don't think we're going to have a lot of opportunity to buy stuff because we quite literally have almost nothing to sell. Although every little bit, I guess, counts. Maybe we'll get 1 dram of water for that. Is it even enough to buy us some lead slugs? I think it will be. So let's get a few of them because it's always nice to have some, at least. That seems good. That was close enough to a trade. So we have a few lead slugs for a weapon that we don't have yet. After having a cool revolver last time and then losing it all in a horrible tragedy with the Scorpiok. So Terchemich, that's not what we're looking for. The Emir Hearth was the one that I thought we might go and check out first. It is a fair way to the north, up into the hills, but none of the previous John Randos have lasted very long, so why should this one be any different? So inwards we go to the Hearth, and I believe we had to head east. We seem to be outside a farm of some description. Very good. Let's just check that quest log again. No, it's not the replacement valve. Snapjaw Ford. Located east along the river that runs through the Emir Hearth. All right, so we find the river, we head east until we get to the Snapjaw Fort. What could be simpler? I can see a little bit of water over there on the right-hand side of the screen. We're just going to have to go around this entire farm to get to it. And is it actually in a canyon? It kind of appears to be. But fortunately, I think we can duck through this little corner. There we go. To the east. And keep checking for hostile creatures because I have no idea what's hostile to us and what isn't at the moment. Fortunately, the Equimaxes are just fine with us. That boar, on the other hand, is not. So now's the time to find how poorly we do in combat. Taking a few hits, not enough to take us down though. That's fortunate, but we are hungry and that is a very solvable problem. Let's whip up that meal. Thank you so much. I just realised that I skipped over the bit where we look at some of these mutations. So we've got some extra agility and some reduced strength because we have stretchy joints. We bleed very much. We can also cause confusion. Confusion is not completely implemented at the moment, so that's always an interesting one to get. And this one here, how do I pronunciate it properly? Psychometry. You read the history of artifacts by touching them, learning what they do and how they were made. So we can identify all kinds of cool stuff. And it immediately allows us to be able to make that thing, provided that we have tinkering. At the moment, I don't believe we do, but we can also open security doors upon touching them, which can be handy if we live long enough to get down into some serious ruins. Then any security doors, they're not going to stop us in the slightest. Speaking of abilities, what have we got? We've got a bunch of wayfaring, and that's all. Oh no, self-discipline, so we can also meditate. Sure. Regenerating at thrice the normal rate. And hunger and thirst at half the normal rate. Metabolic effects from meals last twice as long. Isn't that lovely? And what have we actually got in wayfaring? Make camp, mines compass. It's going to be harder for us to get lost. And I guess that's what it means to be a pilgrim. So here's the thing. Should we go along the river? I think we probably should. Because who knows if we're going to get stuck in a canyon that's going to veer us off in a direction we don't want to go to. There's a cool set of stairs downwards here, but I think we're going to ignore that for now. Because who knows what's going to end up being underground. Whereas if we head east along the river, fortune willing, we'll get to a Snapjaw Fort, and ideally Snapjaws are going to be easy-ish for us to take down, particularly when we get that many experience points just for finding it. So that's going to take us all the way to level 3 in one hit. So that's going to give us a big old bunch of stuff that we should be able to use. So let's just head backwards so I can back up and I remember where we are next time around, because that is all the time we have for this part of the Let's Play. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know how this works by now. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Please tell a friend if you think they might enjoy watching Caves of Quid, because it's so rad to play and to presumably watch. And come back again soon for more of the many lives of John Rando.